Okay guys, so finally, I have received the proof for the first issue of the Heyday Kids. It came a few days later than I was told it would, but I'm just gonna ignore that because I know that they're probably pretty swamped with people trying to stock back up their creator-owned and independent books after conventions. But anyways, this is pretty big because this is like the first ever comic that I've gotten printed in a remotely professional manner. It's actually like the first finished printed version of any of my comics I've ever gotten. So let's open it up and see how it looks, eh? Alright. The moment of truth. Oh boy, this is exciting. So, I got this printed through Ka-Blam, who are associated with Indie Planet. It cost me about $3.50 to $4 for the comic itself, and then basically the same for shipping, so it wound up to about $8 or so. But I'd say we should give it a flip through and see how it looks. Alright, there is some debris on there. That's my fault. But anyways, let's give it a flip through. Alright, so I really like how this has turned out right off the bat. I know it's pretty swamped with text, but I just didn't write the exposition fantastically, so but this turned out significantly better than I was expecting it to. That kind of sounds terrible, but I was expecting it to look bad kind of on my part, because I didn't give myself the best things to work with when it came to the formatting and everything. I'm gonna have to read through this off camera and make sure there are no glaring typos or anything like that. Like, I'm just doing a flip through to kind of show what it all looks like. And I'm not really afraid to show what it all looks like because this comic is actually a free-to-read webcomic on Webtoon, Tapaz, and Godsent Comics, which is my website. So, I mean, this is actually how it appears on Godsent Comics now, like page by page, not panel by panel like it does on Tapaz and Webtoon. So, it doesn't really matter if I show the whole thing here. This is more when I start getting the formatting figured out. Okay, so you probably can't see it because it's dark, but in the web versions, I actually forgot the facial hair on this panel, and it's just a stat that I modified a little bit each time, which you can probably tell. But whenever I was actually going on to have it printed, I went in and added facial hair, and you cannot hardly see it because, of course, the panel is very small, like I knew it would be whenever I was formatting it. So that's great, of course. I'm very happy with how the lighting on these panels turned out. I know it's not perfect or exactly right, but I'm happy with it. Hey. These were a couple of pages that I was pretty happy with when it came to the formatting. I spent quite a while on this one trying to do the fire. It doesn't look exactly right, but I think it turned out pretty well. I like the punch of orange, because that really hammers in that that is a very momentous moment, as a moment should be. And so, that is the end of the first issue here. And here in the very back we've got some little bonus art, which, these were the first drawings I ever did of the Heyday kids. Like, it was mid-2017, I think. Pretty sure it was during the summer, and I came up with the ideas for the characters, and I had just gotten a tablet, so I decided to do all digital drawings of them, and these were some of my earliest digital artwork. And so the characters have changed a bit. Like, at that time, Mandy was actually going to be the villain. She was going to be part of the team, but she was going to betray them, and now she is a sweet little pumpkin who can do no wrong, essentially. The team was going to wind up being GB, Ruben, and Scarlet, and Mandy was going to be part of them and then betray them. But then I changed it to where these two are essentially sisters, so you have a pair of brothers and a pair of sisters, and they're the group. And so it changed significantly, actually, with just that, but, and then we have that. A little promo for something that's coming very soon to print. Well, not very soon, but, something that's interesting about this is that on these black and white pages, if you rub your finger across them, you can feel where the black ink is, which makes sense, of course, but it's strange. And so, that is the full first issue of the Heyday Kids. I'm hoping to be listing this on Indie Planet soon, so I will announce whenever it is listed and available for sale there, so that if you want your print copy of this, you can pick it up. It should only be a few bucks, because, I don't know, I'm thinking about $5, I'm not sure. But, yes, I'm remarkably happy with it, and I just, like I said earlier, I need to read through it and make sure there are no glaring grammatical or spelling issues, because if there are, I'm going to have to fix those and reprint it. I will talk a bit about how it was prepping it for printing with Ka-Blam and what I liked and what I didn't like with the process. So I won't be talking about how to print your comic through Ka-Blam because that's going to be a topic for another video, so I'll just be talking about my experience with doing so. When I was getting ready to send the files off for printing, I realized I hadn't read things thoroughly enough, and that I had saved each of the 30-some images as JPEGs, not realizing or noticing they requested TIFF files. The options for sending in files are either paginated and pre-formatted PDFs, or a zip file of TIFF images. I wound up having to go into the Clip Studio files and resave every single image as a TIFF as a result. It took over an hour, so, you know, save yourself time. Read the instructions carefully. Also, naming the files as they recommend is good. They want them named as A_front cover, B_inside front, and then 3-digit names for interior pages, 001, 002, etc. Done in order. It's a lot easier for them when you name them that way, and it's always good to make their jobs easier. Due to the way I originally made the comic, I had to format it into sequential pages, edit it, and completely re-letter and redo the word bubbles. I did the editing with the template for printing from Ka-Blam over each page on its own layer so I could delete it when the page was done. It saved me a lot of problems. Once you have all the pages ready for print and saved as TIFF files, you just put them in a folder and then zip it. The next step is to upload the entire zip file to their website, which I will note with my terrible internet took at least a full hour. Once that was done, it was just a waiting game. I believe I also went ahead and sent through the payment using PayPal at that time. Once the order is placed, it goes into a queue and awaits review. From submission to print, it took about 2 weeks. Not sure how long it takes when reordering things, but I'll know soon. I'm placing an order to get some copies for friends and family, as well as some to sell. I'm pretty happy with how the final printed version came out, and I mean, it's not perfect of course, but for something I didn't put all that much planning into at the get-go, I think it was a success. Now for the part I didn't think through. I didn't check to see what was required to list something on Indie Planet. Kinda bad oversight on my part. A requirement to list there is taxpayer proof. I'm 17 and have never had any sort of job, so I do not have that on hand. Or at all. My parents will be helping me file for the required paperwork so I can get it up for sale soon, so I'll mention when it's available for purchase in a future video. If anyone has any questions or anything, comment below. I'm planning on making a walkthrough video on the process of printing a comic through Ka-Blam soon, so if there are any questions you have regarding that, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button, and if you enjoy the content I create, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you'd like to see more art from me on a daily basis, follow me on Instagram at LucyDixonArt. I post new pieces there every day, and on my second account, Comic Squid, I share work-in-progress photos of art and various things about my life. If you'd like to support me monetarily, I have a link to my Ko-fi account in the description. There, you can give just a couple dollars and any amount would be so appreciated. I also have links down there to where you can read all my comics for free online. I also have a RedBubble store if you'd be interested in getting some merchandise with my art on it. Link for that is also in the description. And with that, we're done! Thank you for watching and God bless! Hope to see you next time!